Every time there's a new camera on this channel, I'm extremely excited, and that's exactly what we have today with Insta360 GO 3, the newest portable or ultra portable lightweight camera. I've been using it for a couple of weeks now. I'm going to tell you all about my experiences with it because it's definitely going into my camera bag, and I haven't changed anything in my camera bag for years, guys. So here it is, as you can see already. Now I just want to show you how many features this camera has. I mean, just looking at the box, they kind of filled it up with everything. The biggest thing here is that it's ultra lightweight and portable, basically at around 35 grams. This camera is something you want to have in your bag. It's going to give you another angle when capturing video. You already are seeing a small short video that I created. Actually, the camera created automatically with the app for me. They call it the stories function. And that is just one of the videos I'm going to show you today from this little camera that can actually record in 2.7K resolution nowadays with the newest version. So first of all, here you can see the camera itself. This is the GO 3. It actually looks like a GO 2. It's a bit larger. So if you have the GO 2, you will have to change some of your cases if you had any. And this is the base for the camera itself, which actually charges the camera. So the battery life here is a big thing, as you can tell. You can get around 45 minutes with this little camera just by using it alone without the base itself. But the base can actually charge the camera and get it up to 170 minutes of runtime. You can see it connects to it magnetically like so, and there's actually a mechanical feature over here that locks it in place. So in the end, you get this dual camera setup, which basically lets you do long time recording or short time recording with a small portable version of the camera. Now there's a lot to talk about in this video. I just want to start by just showing you what you're going to get in the box. You get the USB-C cable, obviously, which connects not to the camera but to the HomePod itself, or Action Pod, actually that's the name for it. And what's interesting with it is that you're also getting a lot of accessories even with the base version for this camera. So this is one of the things I like the most. It's basically something that you can wear on yourself, and the camera can actually magnet to it. I've actually been using that while recording my trips abroad, and once you connect it, you will have your hands free to do something else. For example, in the video, if you want to record yourself cooking, riding a bike, whatever, this is amazing. It replaces any type of mount that you used to do or have while you wanted to record from your body itself. Other than that, we actually have this, which you can connect to your hat and record from above. And you also get this neat basically tripod that has a bottom part that connects to a tripod mount. And when you connect this, you can actually take the bottom part and have this sticky part and use the camera just about anywhere. You can push it here, and then you have this ball on the top. You can just use that and connect the camera anywhere you want. Now, the camera itself can basically also get connected to anything metallic, which is also really nice, because some places will have some kind of steel areas you can connect to, just because this has a magnetic back. There's a button over here that I actually pressed right now, which will allow you to use the camera and start recording, stop recording, but you can also connect to the camera using the app and just get the videos or actually control the parameters of recording with this camera. In the end, you can just use the Action Pod itself, or you can use the camera with the app if you want to get anything changed on your settings. So let's just look at the Action Pod itself. There are 3 buttons here, 2 on the side and another recording button on the top. What is interesting here is that this is an action camera. Whatever you're used to with other action cameras is basically here. That means that I can start instantly recording by pressing on the record button. You can also see the screen right now, just showing you where I am at. And another thing that I really like about this 2.2-inch screen is that you can change the way it is actually set up to look at yourself. And that is something that you don't see on action cameras. Usually they have a second monitor that small. Here you have a full-size screen, which is basically amazing for people like me who record themselves. So we're going to switch right now to a video recorded just to show you how this looks like in ultra wide with 2.7K resolution recording. Let's just go see it. So this is how it looks like when I'm filming myself at 2.7K resolution at 30 frames per second. Basically, I'm now using the camera with its case, and you can see the different views right now while I get my sun on me, and then I get to the shade and so on. So it's really great that you can see yourself, and you can also hear how it sounds like when I'm talking to the camera at a hand's distance while I have a lot of noise near me. That's how it is. So I also use the microphone on the camera. You're gonna tell me in the comments below what do you think about the recording quality, the microphone quality, or anything else. Now, another thing I want to show you guys is that they really, Insta360 really thought about everything here, because they created a camera where you can use it in two ways. You can take the action camera itself from the action pod itself, or you can just use the action pod as a remote control. And this is something that was, like, for me, mind-blowing, because you can actually use this as a portable monitor. I'm going to show you how it works. Basically, I have the monitor opened over here, and when I press on this mechanical button over here, I can actually disconnect the camera and see what happens. I actually can see my video from the camera itself, even though it's no longer in the pod itself, which is crazy. This becomes a control or a remote for your video. You can start recording by pressing it, even though the camera is actually somewhere else. And that's a really neat feature, because it's probably the smartest remote control you will be able to use, which is another awesome feature that Insta360 added over here. Now, this also has some things that I really want to mention that probably are not the best. The first one is regarding waterproofing. You are really waterproof up to 5 meters with this smaller GO 3, but the pod itself is not that waterproof, or not the same level of waterproof. It actually has splash-proof protection on it, so you really don't want to get that one wet. If you have to, it's okay with splashes, nothing more. You want to go inside the water with the smaller GO 3 after you disconnected it. Another big thing you want to understand regarding waterproof is that if you actually connect the GO 3 from the pod, this is no longer splash proof. So you really want to be careful with this. This is only splash proof when it's together and connected. Another thing that I actually want to note here is regarding the storage and battery life of this. This does not have battery that you can replace. The battery is internal, and it also doesn't have an expandable storage. You basically buy it, and that's what you get. So I have the 64GB storage version. You probably should get the largest you can. So the 128 is probably preferred, because once you run out of storage in this, and this it gives you around 3 hours of storage or video recording at 2.7K, you will not be able to store any more videos until you will actually download these videos from the camera itself, or use the USB functionality to actually download the files to your computer. So there's no SD card over here. And also, if something happens to this camera, if you actually break it, you will probably not have access to your videos or storage. And that's another big thing you want to note here, because when you have an SD card on your camera, you can usually take the SD card out and just use your videos anyway. So in this case, you're going to lose the video and the camera. Just be careful. Regarding menus, Insta360 has done a great job on this camera. You can choose the resolution. You can choose your field of view if you want this to be, let's say, linear, which looks amazing if you ask me, or ultra wide, or action, which is not as wide as ultra, but still wide enough. And you can also toggle from the top to the bottom to get access to voice commands toggle, or actually configurations of the camera. I think the mics here are actually good. I want to use this as my personal vlogging system when I don't have access to my phone, which is kind of nice. And also, if I switch to the side, I get quick access to some of the most used functionalities, whether it's my color setup, my white balance setup. I can actually tweak the EV on it to have a bit more brightness, and it's actually a nice setup of settings where everything is really well done in terms of UI. Doesn't feel like too crumbled or too slow like in, for example, other action cameras. So all in all, you can also see how the camera or the base pod or the action pod is charging the GO 3 right now. It's an icon on the top, and once it's charged up, basically you have the pod itself as a charger for your action camera whenever you're gonna have to charge it up again. So all in all, a really interesting camera. There are stabilization options on it. There is a horizon lock on it. There is time shift feature on it. There is time lapse feature on it. Everything you would expect from an action camera in a smaller size. I really recommend it if you don't mind the big things that I talked about, which is the limited storage and of course the battery thing, which is actually better than most other action cameras, but it's not replaceable. You're gonna get around 170 minutes at 1080p recording while the screen is off. So all in all, I still recommend it because it's a lightweight camera, because you can take it without the action pod itself and still get high quality video on it, still connect with your phone to the camera and set some settings up and make sure you're gonna have an amazing video recording with it, and you're gonna get a lot when it comes to accessories. So all in all, Insta360 really did a good job with this upgrade. You're gonna have links in my video description for more information about it. If you have any questions, definitely post them in the comments below so I can answer you guys. I've been using it heavily. I have been traveling with it. I know how to use it enough to probably answer most of your questions. Thank you very much for watching. I was Roto. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already to see more gadgets, because I have some cool stuff coming up you don't want to miss out on, including comparison between this and another new action camera. You can already guess which one it is. I was Roto. Bye bye.